right, let's hit the field.
It is Monday, April 14th, and it was Game 1 between the Yankees and the Royals as they kick off a 3-game series in the Bronx. Good night for Carlos Carrasco, and the Yankees were putting balls in the seats. My recap, your reactions, coming up next. This is Pinstripe Territory.
Just wanted to talk, that's all.
All right. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. Nice to start the series off with a victory. Let's get a tip of the victory hat there. It'll get lost in the home runs, I'm sure, because home runs are pretty much the most exciting part of baseball. But I got to start off with hell of a job by Cookie Carrasco tonight. Last time out was no fun in Detroit, but he certainly bounced back tonight and was just mixing his pitches really, really well. Had the Royals off balance all night. Royals just got 2 hits tonight. One off of Carrasco and one off of Devin Williams, who, again, made things interesting, but got it done. Yankees offense helped the pitching out. Home run derby again. 4 solo home runs. They remain on pace to break the all-time home run record for a team. I know it's early, but we'll talk about that. Dinger number 6 from Jazz Chisholm. 3 home runs in the 5th inning. An absolutely majestic blast from Trent Grisham. Another home run from Ben Rice, who is blistering hot, still hitting 300 with an OPS over 1,000. And Austin Wells hit a scorcher inside the foul pole. He's had a couple of home runs knocked down. It was good to see him beat the wind with a line drive. But before we get to all of that, congratulations to Aaron Judge on being named Captain America. Captain of the World Baseball Classic in 2026. Look, I love the World Baseball Classic. I watch it every year. I'm on the edge of my seat every time they have it. But I'm kind of scarred for life, I got to admit. When Mark Teixeira got injured while preparing for the 2013 tournament, he tore a tendon sheath. I don't think he was ever the same after that. I mean, he had some okay numbers after that, but I felt like he lost some bat speed. He lost some explosiveness with his hands after that. And I think he only played in about 15 games that year, and they were miserable. So as long as Aaron Judge comes back in one piece, I think we'll be okay. Lori C. says, please like and subscribe, and I have to wholeheartedly agree. Let's get to the recap.
All right, let's go. Let's get it going.
Got a comment from Juan Soto in the chat. Says, Derek, I miss the Yankees. Get me off of this garbage team. However, the Mets do have a better record than the Yankees so far this year. Although, last I checked, Juan Soto wasn't having a great start. I think he was hitting about 270 or something like that with 1 home run. Anyway, couple of walks from Carrasco in the 1st inning, and I was thinking, here we go again. And Boone is on the record as saying, look, we're walking too many guys. And I have to concur, but it's not entirely unexpected from my perspective. Guys like Carrasco and Stroman, I expect to walk guys at this point in their careers because they don't throw hard enough to really challenge guys in the zone anymore. They have to get swings and misses, or they have to get weak contact. And you do that around the perimeters of the strike zone. So I expect them to nibble a little bit. Rodon walks people because he just can't help it. And Warren is a kid, right? The bullpen also been walking too many guys. Fernando Cruz, he was great tonight, but he typically loses command. Devin Williams, again, he's been wild out of the pen. And last year, even when he was so good, he had some wildness in him. You can walk people or you can give up hits. You can't do both. That's what John Sterling used to always say, and I think that's accurate. Hustle single for Paul Goldschmidt in the 2nd inning. Dude is just a gamer. Day in and day out. He had another couple of hits today, 2 for 4. Bobby Witt Jr. went deep in the 3rd inning to put the Royals on top. Hanging slider, a cookie from Cookie, but the Yankees bounced right back. They did get base hits in the 3rd inning from Cabrera and Judge, but they were sandwiched around a double play. And then Austin Wells hit one to the warning track that got knocked down, by the wind. Second time that's happened to him in about a week.
Oh, there goes gravity.
Outstanding night on defense for the Martian. He had a great play in the 4th inning. Salvador Perez scorched one to left field, and it was kind of like a sinking line drive that was headed over his head, and Jason jumped up and snagged it, took a great route, he made a few nice plays out there tonight. He had a rangy play where he was coming into his right on a ball. I don't know if it ended up being in foul territory or fair territory, but he had to really move to get it. And then there was one hit way over his head to his left that he had to run back and get, and he had to take a great route to catch it, and he did. So, stellar defense from the Martian.
Stellar defense.
His defense really does look better than I've seen it at any time since he's been called up. I've seen a lot of people mention it already in the comments that he looks good out there. I just want everyone to remember this on a night when he doesn't have such a good night, right? I mean, we tend to be pretty reactionary as fans, but perspective comes with experience of watching baseball. And you will see guys have good nights and bad nights. I think it's been really important for him to get off to a great start. And he's done a fantastic job on defense, even more so than offense, honestly. You know, he's hitting well from the left side. He was 0 for 2 tonight, but he's hitting .229. He's, I believe, 1 for 20 from the right side. They pinch hit for him with Bellinger in the 8th inning against a lefty. So still not entirely trusting him against lefties, but very solid first 2 weeks of the season as he begins what I believe could be a Rookie of the Year contention campaign. We haven't seen him get going with the bat yet. He hasn't gotten hot, but it's coming, believe me. Bottom 4, Jazz Chisholm doing some yard work.
Oh, look at this. Jazz.
You like jazz?
You like Jazz? Home run into the right field bullpen to tie the game at 1. Big home run for Jazz Chisholm. Home run number 6 on the season. Hopefully now that the weather, the worst of the weather, has gotten out of the way, hopefully he'll get comfortable again. He strikes me as somebody that just does not like to play in the cold. And he's also a guy that you could tell he's very confident, but a lot of times the most confident people, like the most outgoing, confident people, if things go bad for a little bit, they can go the inverse. They can get really down on themselves and get into a long slump. I'm glad that he's been able to turn it around because his body language feels more like the Jazz we're used to. He's playing with more confidence. He tried to drag bunt later in the game after already hitting a home run. So, obviously, feeling a little bit better after a couple of home runs over the past few days. And then, Trent Grisham went deep. No doubter into the right field seats. Very few stadiums frame home runs to right field the way that Yankee Stadium does. And that was a beauty. And the Yankees were not done.
And at the wall, that's gone.
Home run number 5 for Ben Rice. Inside cutter off the plate at 90 miles an hour, but he pulled his hands in and he got the barrel to it. And when you swing as hard as he does and make contact, I mean, you're going to find some home runs at the right field porch at Yankee Stadium. He got under that baseball. A lot of ballparks that might not go out necessarily. I don't know what the distance was, but I can look it up real quick. It looks like it went 381 feet. So I'm sure that wouldn't be out everywhere. But at Yankee Stadium, it will do the job. He is off to an incredible start. It is going to be very, very interesting to see what happens when Giancarlo Stanton returns. Because Ben Rice is right now looking like a 35 home run guy. He is every bit as productive right now as Giancarlo Stanton as we could have hoped for, honestly. And then later in the inning, Austin Wells getting in on the action with a mustache ride.
That ball is high. It is far. It is gone. What's the mustache ride?
Home run for Austin Wells. 3rd home run of the season. But I'm getting a little bit sidetracked here by how many home runs the Yankees are hitting. I forgot to mention that there was a prediction this morning, and it was an extra base hit from Ben Rice. Now, I didn't commit to a home run, but I said he would get an extra base hit. And you know what? Nostra Derek now hitting .500 on the season.
That is destiny fulfilled.
So all in all, a really good night for the Yankees. Fernando Cruz pitched well, 1 in the 3rd innings, 3 strikeouts, no runs, no walks. Tim Hill did what Tim Hill does. And then Luke Weaver did what he does. Big booming double into the left field corner for Paul Goldschmidt in the 8th, now hitting .367 with a .909 OPS, 5 doubles on the season. And Devin Williams closed it out, and the Yankees take Game 1.
Ball game over. Yankees win. The Yankees win.
Gregory Wayne says, do you expect Big G back in the lineup soon before the All-Star break? I do. I wouldn't say soon. I would say Memorial Day. I mean, that's originally what they said, like best case scenario. And the fact that he's already hitting off of the traject machine suggests that, he's feeling okay. Now, he's still got to do other things. He's still got to run the bases. He's got a calf issue that he's dealing with. So I'm not counting on Giancarlo in April at any point. Maybe mid to late May. I'm guessing around Memorial Day. And here's the funny part about Giancarlo. If people who've been watching this channel for years know this. When Giancarlo comes off of the IL, a lot of times he doesn't go on one of those rehab stints that most players do because he just hits. He doesn't need to play the outfield or anything like that. He can get his work in off the traject machine, or at least he feels he can, and off of live BP. So he doesn't feel the need for a minor league rehab assignment, but he always slumps when he first comes back. I mean, usually it's between a week and a month. He'll hit 170. He'll hit a couple of home runs, and you'll think he's coming out of it, but then he'll have a couple of at-bats where he swings wildly at sliders in the dirt. And then, usually, the hot streak comes, and he'll hit 8 home runs in 15 games or something like that. And you just hope that when he's back, the hot streak aligns with what you need, right? A time when you need an injection of power into the lineup, and you hope that he's healthy for the playoffs. We got to give out the belt tonight, and we'll spotlight this guy in a second. Obviously, a lot of solo home runs tonight, all good candidates, but I thought the man of the hour was Cookie Carrasco. First belt for Cookie. Raymond Vellon says, I feel we don't really need Stanton. Well, we got him under contract, so they're not going to get rid of him. Val NY says, Stanton doesn't run the bases. He jogs, walks the bases. He can't run for nothing. But nice job by Cookie Carrasco tonight. Let's go ahead and talk a little bit about him because I feel like his start is going to get lost in the offense. 5 innings of 1 hit, 1 run baseball, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts, 10 whiffs. He threw 79 pitches, 49 of them were for strikes. His season ERA is still 5.94. Obviously, he's had some rough outings. And at this point in his career, you hope that on any given outing, he pitches like he did tonight. For the most part, he kept the ball out of the middle of the plate. His split finger was dropping off the table. He was able to spot the sinker. He was able to throw the slider for strikes early in the count. And that gets a hitter thinking. It gets him off balance. Tonight, he didn't just throw the kitchen sink at the Royals. He emptied out the dishwasher. He emptied out the cabinets. He emptied out half the fridge. He threw the whole kitchen up there. Salt shaker, spatula, cheese grater too. Hell of a job by Cookie Carrasco. All right. Kevin Davis with an interesting point. He says, confidence hit by taking Dominguez out after the way he played defense tonight. I don't think it was about his defense. I think it was about facing the left-handed pitcher. It wasn't a move on, to protect him on defense, although they might have taken him out anyway. Obviously Bellinger's a better defender, so it makes sense to go into run prevention mode. But I think the opposite. I think he gets out of the game feeling good about his defense. Nothing went wrong. He played well. He got some nice hands from the crowd. I think he had a good night, and I think he feels good about it. Let's talk a little bit about the home run chase. Obviously, 4 more home runs tonight. You see there on your screen, the team record is 307 by the 2019 Twins and the 2023 Braves. Yankees hit 306 in 2019. Their pace right now is easy to figure out because they have 32 home runs in 16 games. So they're averaging 2 per game. They are on pace for 324 home runs. And they're going to have some games where they hit 5-6 home runs. That's just the way it goes. And when summer rolls around and the ball is really traveling, I expect them to get even hotter. And right now, Aaron Judge has gone into a little bit of a home run slump. You don't want to say a slump because he's still having 2-hit games. He had 2 hits tonight. He's hitting .367. His OPS is over 1,200, but he hasn't been hitting home runs in a while. You know, Jazz Chisholm has now tied him for home runs. So it won't be long before he gets going on one of those streaks, but we got to have somebody protect him. Excuse me. Belching over here. Let's talk a little bit about the minor league hitters. We talked about pitchers the other day, so I wanted to kind of zoom in on some of our top offensive or position player prospects. So Spencer Jones, the numbers initially look good. You look at the 9 for 31, that's 290. He's got 3 home runs. He's got 7 RBIs. But then you see 14 strikeouts in 31 at-bats. So almost a 50% strikeout percentage, which is exactly what you don't want. Guys don't traditionally strike out less as they move up the ladder. So that's something the Yankees want him to conquer. I did see him hit a monster home run either yesterday or the day before. I was watching the highlights, and he hit one basically to center field that was demolished. But he's going to do that because he's a massive, massive, strong human being. Got to figure out a way to strike out less. Maybe he needs to work with Teacher Man. Teacher Man also works with Kerry Carpenter and Aaron Judge. And I believe Kyron Paris said he's working with him too, who is he's on fire. He's turned himself into a great hitter for the Angels. Roderick Arias off to a slow start, 5 for 34, 147. George Lombard Jr. in high A, 8 for 28, that's 286. I think he's somebody that could move quickly. I think we could see George Lombard Jr. in AAA by the end of the year. I really do. He's going to be 20 years old. The Yankees are not afraid to promote 20-year-olds. They've done it before. He's advanced by every metric. He's just got to produce at these lower levels. He's starting off in high A. If Memorial Day or so rolls around and he's hitting 290 with a few home runs and playing good defense, he's going to be in Double A, right? And he's going to spend probably most of the season in Double A, and then you call him up to AAA for the final couple of weeks, just like they did with Anthony Volpe. And I'd expect him to play a few weeks of AAA before the end of the year. And then next year, he's going to be in contention to take over at third base. Now, I don't know if he's going to do it, but he's going to be a consideration. And considering how well he played this spring, and, the start he's off to looking good, I wouldn't count him out. And then Everson Pereira, guy who kind of gets lost in the prospect, spotlight here and there. 10 for 40, hitting 250 so far, 1 home run and 6 RBIs. All right. Quick word from our sponsor, which is Harry's, and then back with a few voicemails and your reactions to a big Yankees win.
In sports, the difference between winning and losing is often razor thin, and it's great to have an edge. And that's what you get with Harry's Razors, the sponsor for today's episode. You might notice my beard is gone. I did that because I wanted to test out this razor that they sent me. I don't like to pitch things unless I try them myself. And I gotta say, I am very impressed with Harry's Razors. It comes with 5 blades. These are German engineered. They are extremely, extremely sharp. I shaved 2 days ago and my face still feels very smooth. I got the trial set. I really enjoy the weighted handle. It gives me like a nice feeling of control over the razor. I don't have to worry about cutting myself. Their trial set is $13, but using our exclusive link and code, you can get it for just $3. Go to harrys.com/stripe and you can get this trial set for $3 instead of $13. harrys.com/stripe.
All right. And we got a visit from a cat. Now, you guys have been saying I need to make an appearance from my cat. Oh, and he ran away. Sorry. I tried my best, but he got away. All right, here's a call about Anthony Volpe, I believe.
Hey, Derek, it's New York Gamer here. Listen, this is going to be a very unpopular opinion, possibly not. I'm so sick of Anthony Volpe. Dude got the shortstop job like it was Make-A-Wish, except we're the ones who are dying. Anyway, listen, I had an idea. I'm wondering if you can call me crazy or not, but if this could be a possible trade that the Reds would ever entertain. Like, hear me out. Anthony Volpe, Chase Hampton, Everson Pereira, Oswald Peraza, Roderick Arias. I don't know. We can move them around for Ellie De La Cruz. Call me crazy, say don't smoke crack, but honestly, maybe sweeten up that pot. But what would you feel about Ellie De La Cruz at the shortstop instead of our main man Volpe? Because honestly, man, I can't watch him. Anthony Volpe is the kind of player who makes you nostalgic for IKF. Let that sink in.
Ooh, rough. He's a better player than IKF ever was on defense. I'll say this. I don't want him to be the home run hitting machine that he's trying to be. I want him to be the guy that we saw for the first few months last year that was an on-base machine. Now, as far as trading for Elly De La Cruz, I'm not going to tell you to smoke crack, but no, it's not going to happen.
Just a bit outside.
The Reds probably going to lock him up. I would imagine they're going to try and lock him up. He's their franchise player. He's unbelievable. He's only getting better. And do you know that Scott Braun would have an aneurysm if he went to the Yankees because he loves Elly as a Red? And I don't think he wants to see him go to the Yankees. So I don't think it's going to happen. E. Bronson says crack kills. Here's another call here.
Hey, Derek, what's going on, man? It's Tristan from Brooklyn, New York. First off, I just want to say big fan of the show, big Yankee fan, and I really, really do appreciate your perspective on things. I'm a recent addition to your fan base, and I really do have to kind of stress how much I appreciate your composed, even-keeled, and warm just opinion on things, and just the way that you try to attack everything going on in the Yankee world. I think it's kind of the new hot thing in media and podcasts and everything. Well, it's always been a thing in sports to just bash whatever team you're talking about. And me as a Yankee fan, I don't want to put myself above anybody, but I like the way I like to look at this sport that I love seeing consumed so much. When things are going bad or good, I like to just view it in the most positive, optimistic way possible without being delusional, if I can also accomplish that. And I think even if the Yankees have a terrible day, I think you always have an ability to just come at it with, a very...
All right, so I just looked at the clock, and it goes for another 2.5 minutes. I don't want to disrespect this guy. I appreciate the call, and I appreciate, the kind words. But let's when we put these calls together, for the benefit of the audience, let's compliment me less and let's talk about the Yankees more. Let's get right to it. Let's talk about it. Referee says Boston sucks, by the way, down 16-1 to Tampa. I tell you what, Garrett Crochet looked damn good the other night. Damn good. But they are struggling out of the gate. Randy Cokewave says, guys, Devin Williams' ERA in March and April is 3.86. After that, 2.51 in May. June, 1.65, July, 0.87, August, 1.55, and September, October, 1.89. That means career 1.68 ERA after April. Great call. I wish I still had the numbers animation that we used last year. Shouldn't have got rid of that one. Steve Benevito says, thoughts on trading for another high-end starter? Well, right now, we've talked about this. Nobody's dealing. I think Sandy Alcantara would probably be the guy. Is it Alcantara or Alcantara? I've heard it pronounced both ways, and it's spelled Alcantara, but I think it's Alcantara, so I don't want to get it wrong. But I haven't seen him enough to really hear how they pronounce it. But he's off to a little bit of a slow start. Let me just go ahead and pull up his numbers for you. But he's the guy that I've had my eyes on, based on just like the metrics and where he is in terms of a team that is likely to sell. Let's go ahead and share the screen here. So he's 2-0 with a 4.70 ERA, but he's a good pitcher. He's got a good sinker, 96.8 miles an hour, and you see he's in the 93rd percentile of the ground ball rate in Major League Baseball. The fastball velocity is at 97. So, he came back from Tommy John surgery. He's still in his 20s, 29 years old. Breaking ball run value is excellent, but everybody's going to want this guy. Everybody. And if I were the Marlins, I wouldn't be in a rush to move him because as you get closer to the trade deadline, you're going to be able to get more for him. And I don't think that he's going to be one of these guys that gets re-hurt because, he just came back. He seems to be healthy. Now, they're going to want to move him before anything happens. So I think he will get moved this year. But the question is, who's going to ante up the prospects? The Yankees don't have the strongest system in terms of how other teams view their prospects. The Orioles probably have enough to get him. The Red Sox certainly have enough to get him. I would expect if either of those teams to be, in the race in July, I would expect them to have the advantage if they were willing to go out and make that move.
Derek, it's Spike from New Jersey. That call was outrageous. Alan from Fort Lauderdale. I'm glad you played it on the show because you know what? I took personal offense to that because you're my favorite Yankees podcaster on all of YouTube. And that guy clearly has no idea what he's talking about. He's sitting in his cuck chair somewhere in Fort Lauderdale, diaper full of common poop, and he has nothing better to do but call in and go, "You're a terrible guy, you know nothing." Well, to quote Ace Ventura, he's a lay who, lay her.
Appreciate it. I appreciate the call. You guys coming to my defense. Yeah, we get trolls now and then. I put one up every now and then. It seemed very unprovoked, you know. I've been working my tail off for you guys, and it just seemed very unprovoked. And, you know, if somebody says that you're wrong in terms of, like, you know, he basically said that, you know, I think I'm a great coach or whatever. I'm just telling you what I know. And he didn't rebut anything that I said. Like, if I was wrong about something mechanical that somebody's doing wrong, tell me, you know. This spawned, I think, from when Jason Dominguez tried to pick the ball up with his glove on the warning track. And I was just trying to explain why you don't do that, right? When you get to the warning track, or, you know, if there's a slow roller in front of the mound, I was always taught, and I've always taught others, if you get there, the most efficient way to pick up the baseball is to push down on it, right? You push down on it, that allows you to stop the spin, to get a grip. He seems to have taken offense to this. Whatever. But, you know, I'm not going to spend any more time thinking about it, but it just seemed very unprovoked, and so I wanted to play it. Appreciate it.
Hey, Derek, this is Jordan from Orlando, long-time listener, first-time caller. Just watched Ben Rice hit his 5th home run, and I find it so impressive that that last season he was struggling with inside pitches, things that were jamming him, and he's made the adjustment. He's now a professional hitter. It's very impressive. I'm loving it. But just wanted to call. Appreciate the show you do. Also, screw that geriatric that called you the other day. You guys know what he's talking about. What a loser. But thanks again. See ya.
Appreciate it. Yeah, Ben Rice looking great. Rice, baby. I'm telling you, 30 home runs if he keeps, you know, getting at bats. Right now he's locked in, and his bat speed is incredible. You got to hope he stays healthy. A lot of times guys get off to great starts, but, you know, if there's their first full season in the major leagues, they can kind of wear down, maybe pull a hammy in here and there. Maybe being DH will help with that, stay fresh, but we need that bat in the lineup. We need that bat. Excuse me.
Hey, Derek, Johnny Bags in New York.
Johnny Bags.
Got a couple things. One is I want to say piss off to that guy in Florida that called up and insulted you. I happen to think you have a very high baseball IQ and enjoy the commentary daily. That brings me to Stanton. I don't know. Can't take anything away from the guy. He was absolutely terrific in the playoffs. But on the other hand, it hurt him. It hurt him bad. He's still not back. And we didn't win. So, taking a look at what Rice is doing right now today, if this keeps going, this kid could be a generational talent. He could be the next $700 million free agent.
I don't know about
He's
that.
got a long way to go and a lot to prove. But right now, the numbers are incredible. He deserves the right to keep going.
All right, so $700 million. Consider this. Ben Rice, I believe, is 26 years old. Let me just double check. I believe Ben Rice might be older than Juan Soto, or it's very close. That's what got Soto paid $700 million, because you can pay him for a long time. Ben Rice is essentially a rookie. He's not technically a rookie because he had 178 plate appearances last year, and I'm going to put up his Baseball Savant page, but he is 26 years old, and Juan Soto was 26 as a free agent. Ben Rice won't be a free agent until he's, 31? Even if he has 5 really good years right now, no way he gets $700 million. Not even close. Although with the way salaries are going, who knows? But he is absolutely torching the baseball. I mean, everything pretty much to right field, but can't complain about that if you play in Yankee Stadium. So another good night for Ben Rice. Ladies and gentlemen, one more time, Yankees win.
Ball game over. Yankees win. Yankees win.
Hit those likes. Hit those subscribes. Leave a comment. Call into the voicemail. I'm not sure if we're going to do a voicemail show tomorrow. I'm going to try. We're going to do several. I got to do 9 shows this week. So, you know, obviously there's games every single day, which means we're going to have to do a couple more voicemail shows. So, probably either Wednesday, Thursday, something like that. But call in. If we get some good ones, maybe we'll do it tomorrow. But be nice, or I might be mean back. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we'll see you next time.
Hey, while I've got you here, be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Pinstripe Territory is the official Yankees podcast of the Foul Territory Network. We are home to the #1 most watched MLB postgame show on YouTube since 2021. We're here after every Yankees game and for reactions to all the best news and rumors during the offseason. Be a part of the show by calling into the voicemail 718-899-1068. Try to keep it clean for me. And if you ever miss us on YouTube, be sure and subscribe on all your favorite podcast platforms. Go ahead and rate us 5 stars. It'll help other people find the show. Thanks for watching. See ya.